By far the best investment you can make is in yourself.
I get up early, I go to bed early, I get up early. I like to putter in the morning, so I like to read the newspaper, I like to have coffee.
I was very bookish. I was reading all the time.
I'm a weird dropout because I take college courses all the time.
Want to be happy? Build a life, not just a business.
Living that believing life. Out here living that believing life. Every day we living that believing life. Hustle like we living that believing life. Living life, yeah, so we grinding it out. Every single day we be grinding it out. Hustle like we living that believing life, oh. That believing life, oh.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You've got Michael Jordan level talent at something. So today, let's live your best belief life and learn the 5 billionaire habits that you must copy. Okay, let's kick it off with habit number 1. Learn how to communicate better with Warren Buffett.
By far the best investment you can make is in yourself. I mean, for example, communication skills. I tell the students that come that they're going to graduate schools and business, and they're learning all these complicated formulas and all that. If they just learn to communicate better, and both in writing and in person, they increase their value at least 50%. And I mean, if you can't communicate, somebody says, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. Nothing happens, basically. And you have to be able to get forth your ideas, and that's relatively easy. I did it myself with the Dale Carnegie course. Some people wish I'd taken a shorter course now in terms of my talking later on, but it's just hugely important. And if you invest in yourself, nobody can take it away from you.
Habit number 2, practice being fully present with Oprah Winfrey.
Everything that is happening to us is preparing us for whatever is to come. And literally, we can see that this moment has been a moment to send us all to our rooms, literally, for a timeout. And whether we wanted to or not, it's an opportunity to reset, to reorganize, to rethink where we are and where we want to be and where we choose to go when this pandemic is over and we are released back into a new normal. Everybody keeps saying we want things to go back to normal. Forget that, folks. Forget that. Let go of we want things the way they used to be. We cannot have had this experience without being forever changed. And those of us who are carriers of the light, seekers of the light, as you all are, seeking wellness, know that you have to move into wherever this moment is carrying us. So ask yourself, what could you reset to help yourself be healthier and well in this moment, in these moments that we're experiencing? No question about it. The pandemic, the lockdown, the separation, the social distancing has caused us all to feel some sense of disorder. I feel it too, even though I literally am leaning into every spiritual practice I ever thought I believed in, but it still has caused disorder. And I'm asking myself the same questions that I'm asking you to ask yourself. What can the disorder reorder for you? We cannot let this moment, this extraordinary time that no one in our lifetime has experienced, pass us by and us not get all that it's here to teach, impact, show, and evolve us to. So to me, the cornerstone of any wellness is in vision is focus. So I found myself at the beginning of this pandemic feeling several things. First, when lockdown came, I was excited because, whoa, I thought it was only going to be like 2 weeks, and I was treating it like vacation, and I didn't have to fit into any pants. So I was eating everything. I was like counting the points in my head, but not really tracking them. And then when I realized we were going to be longer, I thought, after I put on the first 7 pounds, I said, whoa, let's get ourselves refocused and back on track. I was feeling overwhelmed, but I will tell you that for me, being the practice of being fully present has saved me. And one of the reasons I was feeling overwhelmed and eating my way through the first 2 weeks is because I had just come off of that tour. And I saw I see some faces that I saw on the tour. Hey, Lisa Schaub, I see you there. And I realized, as more and more information was coming forward, that wow, after every show, y'all, had 400, 500 people waiting in line to take pictures and shaking hands. So I shook hands, I hugged people, people kissed me, I kissed them, we cried, we danced, we did everything. And then I thought, 14 for the first 14 days after the tour finished, every day I was waiting to know whether or not I was going to be a victim of COVID-19. I am in the at-risk category. I am 66. Never before have I been reminded of that number, because at first when the news started coming out about it affecting elderly people, I was like, oh, so sad, the elderly people. And then I realized they were talking about people over 60. Oh, they're talking about me. Oh, I didn't realize I was elderly. Okay, thanks so much. And as I've shared with so many of you, I had pneumonia last year. So I'm really in that category of at risk. So I was worried. And if you're watching the news every day, as I know we all have been, needed it for information, I have now stopped and limited that for myself. If you're watching the news every day, you can get overwhelmed with the stories. And I was reading every terrible, horrible story of what it does to your body and how it shuts down your lungs, and then it makes your heart race, and then your kidneys fail, and all of that. Okay, do I have a witness over there? I see you, Linda. And so I had to stop doing that. I had to stop doing that. And every time I would get overwhelmed, I would do this. I would just literally go to my breath and remind myself that breath is the presence of life. It reminds you that the breath is literally the source of life for you. Come back to focus. And I would say, in this moment, I am well. In this moment, I'm okay. I am not in the hospital. I am not on a respirator. I am not that story. In this moment, I am breathing. I am well. I'm okay. Coming back to the moment, reminding myself, in this moment, I am well. So I believe that the first step toward focus is to start exactly where you are.
Also, if you want to have unstoppable confidence, self-love, and learn from billionaires, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links to join are in the description below.
It's important to associate with people that are better than yourself.
How to be myself completely on television.
The number one thing that has made us successful by far is obsessive, compulsive focus on the customer.
Habit number 3, get enough sleep with Jeff Bezos.
You sit around with your team and so forth, but you don't like meetings before 10 a.m.
No.
You like to get 8 hours of sleep, and
Yes.
you don't like PowerPoints. Explain all that. Why is that?
Okay, so I like to putter in the morning. I get up early. I go to bed early. I get up early. I like to putter in the morning. So I like to read the newspaper. I like to have coffee. I like to have breakfast with my kids before they go to school. So I have my kind of puttering time is very important to me. And so that's why I set my first meeting for 10 o'clock. I like to do my high IQ meetings before lunch. Like anything that's going to be really mentally challenging, that's a 10 o'clock meeting. And because by 5 p.m., I'm like, I can't think about that today. Let's try this again tomorrow at 10 a.m. And so then on sleep, I get 8 hours of sleep. I prioritize it, unless I'm traveling in different time zones. Sometimes it's impossible, but I am very focused on it. And for me, I need 8 hours of sleep. I think better. I have more energy. My mood is better, all these things. And think about it, as a senior executive, what do you really get paid to do? As a senior executive, you get paid to make a small number of high quality decisions. Your job is not to make thousands of decisions every day. So let's say that I slept 6 hours a day, or let's go really crazy and say I slept 4 hours a day. So now I just got 4 so-called productive hours back. So if I was going to, have say 12 hours of productive time during any waking day, now all of a sudden I have 12 plus 4, I have 16 productive hours. So I have 33% more time to make decisions. So if I was going to make 100 decisions, now I can make 133 decisions. By the way, if I did that arithmetic wrong, I'm sorry. And so you make 133 decisions. Is that really worth it if the quality of those decisions might be lower because you're tired or grouchy or any number of things? Now, it's different if it's a startup company. I mean, you're really, when Amazon was 100 people, it's a different story. But Amazon's not a startup company, and all of our senior executives operate the same way I do. They work in the future, they live in the future. None of the people who report to me should really be focused on the current quarter. I always tell people, sometimes I get, we'll have a good quarterly conference call or something, and Wall Street will like our quarterly results, and people will stop me and say, congratulations on your quarter, and I say, thank you. But what I'm really thinking is, that quarter was baked 3 years ago. Right now, I'm working on a quarter that's going to reveal itself in 2021 sometime. And that's what you need to be doing. You need to be out sort of, 2 or 3 years in advance. And and then why do I need to make 100 decisions today? If I make like 3 good decisions a day, that's enough.
Habit number 4, read more with Elon Musk.
I certainly was I was very, very bookish. I was reading all the time. So I was either reading, working on my computer, reading comics, playing Dungeons & Dragons, that kind of thing.
And I understand Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that wonderful book by Douglas Adams. That was a key book for you. What was it about that book that fired your imagination?
So I guess when I was in around 12 or 13, I had kind of an existential crisis, and I was reading various books on trying to figure out the meaning of life and, what does it all mean? Because it starts seeming quite meaningless. And then we happen to have some books by Nietzsche and Schopenhauer in the house, which you should not read at age 14. It's bad. It's really negative. But then I read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which was quite positive, I think, and it sort of highlighted an important point, which is that a lot of times the question is harder than the answer, and if you can properly phrase the question, then the answer is the easy part. And so, if to the degree that we can better understand the universe, then we better know what questions to ask, and then whatever the question is that most approximates what's the meaning of life, that's the question we could ultimately get closer to understanding. And so I thought, well, to the degree that we can expand the scope and scale of consciousness and knowledge, human knowledge, then that would be a good thing.
And habit number 5, the last one before a very special bonus habit, is always be a student with Bill Gates.
You went to Harvard and you dropped out. Have you ever thought how your life could be better off if you had gotten your Harvard degree?
Well, I'm a weird dropout because I take college courses all the time. I love learning company courses and things, so I loved being a student. And there were smart people around, and they fed you, and they gave you these nice grades that made you feel smart. So I feel it was unfortunate that I didn't get to stay there, but I don't think I missed any knowledge because whatever I needed to learn, I was still in a learning mode.
Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I want to know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video? And write down in the comments below when you're going to take action on that takeaway this week. When you schedule in what day, what time, and what place you're going to take action, you have a 91% chance of actually following through, compared to just 35% if you just got motivated but never created a plan. And when you share your plan and have accountability, you give yourself an even higher chance of following through. So in the comments below, write down your single biggest takeaway as well as your specific plan of action, because I want to celebrate with you.
One of the things that companies do or startups do, they come up with an idea, they'll Google it, and if they don't see it in the first 2 pages, they think it's original. You got to go back right? Because over the past 15 years, there's so many different businesses that have tried and failed. You have to go back and find those and learn from those. So you've got to understand all the implications, and you have to learn from history. And so the best advice I can give you on a video before talking to you or emailing with you is that you've got to find out the history of people who have tried your idea, because there's a 99.99999% chance that your idea has been tried before. That's not a good reason not to start it, because you might be able to outperform them, but you better learn from the history of your idea, because you know what they say about people who don't learn from history.
If you want to change your life in 30 days for free, check the link right below me. And if you want 7 more lessons from billionaires, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe. I'll see you there.